Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to Common English Mistakes. Don't just learn, improve. So today's mistake comes from a guy in my football WhatsApp group. And this is kind of a classic example and why I think this channel is quite good for language learners. Because he's completely fluent, lived in the UK, can do everything he needs in English, but then there's this quite basic mistake, which is quite easy to fix. And by targeting and focusing on this mistake, he could sound a lot better. But anyway, the mistake he made is prepositions with transports, and it's up here. I go to work with car. So just pause the video, see if you can improve the sentence. And well done if you said, I go to work by car. So if you want to say how you travelled as an adverb phrase, use the preposition by. I go to school by bike. We went to Milan by train. However, there is one exception, which is up here. I usually go to the supermarket by foot. So just pause the video, try to correct the sentence. And well done here if you said, I usually go to the supermarket on foot. We also don't say by walking, which I hear students sometimes say. This is the one exception that you need to know. There is another one, but we don't usually use it. In the past, people used to travel on horseback, go somewhere with a horse. So that's one way to say how you travelled, but it's not the only one. You could also just use the appropriate verb or verb phrase. For example, I drive to work, I cycle or bike to school, I usually walk to the supermarket, and then if it's a bigger piece of transport, use it in a phrase with take. For example, we took the train to Milan. But going back to by car, by plane, by train, where this is useful is saying how far something is. So when someone asks you, how far is your office? Instead of saying 20 kilometers away, it's much more natural to say it's, then how long, by car, by train, by whatever. So for example, it's 20 minutes by car, or it's 1 hour by bike. And again, that exception with walking. How far is the supermarket? It's 10 minutes on foot. And you might use this to talk about the different travel options. So for example, how should we go to London? Well, it's 4 hours by train and it's 7 hours by bus. And again, there is another way to say this, which is then the time, and one of these nouns or noun phrases at the top. If you're cycling, I'd only use this in the context of leisure, for fun. So it's a 2-hour bike ride to the beach, but it's a nice one, it's leisurely. And with trains and buses, you need to use a phrase. So a train ride or a train journey, a bus ride or a bus journey. And then finally, only for walking or driving, you could say it with a possessive like this. So it's only 2 minutes walk to the station. It's 2 hours drive to London. Especially with walk, I've included that because it is very colloquial. It's a very natural way to say this. So that's a little bit about how to say distances. The other big mistake I hear with prepositions and transports is this one up here. I was very bored in the plane. So just pause the video, see if you can correct this sentence. And well done if you said, I was very bored on the plane. Sounds a bit silly because obviously you are inside a plane, but basically most transport, big transport, planes, trains, buses, but then also motorbikes, bicycles, you use the preposition on. The only ones we use in are cars. So cars, taxis, vans, etc. And then this rule transfers to phrasal verbs. So you get in a car, taxi, or van. Notice that object, no object, the phrasal verb is the same. With these types of phrasal verbs, the opposite is just the opposite preposition. So the opposite of in is out. I got out of the car with an object, get out of. He stopped and I got out. Got out when there is no object. And then for bigger transport or bicycles, motorbikes, get on, get off. I like to get on the plane last. I'm getting off the train at the next station. I got on his motorbike. I got off my bike and walked. And then a couple more phrasal verbs that you might need when you're cycling, riding a motorbike, and you fall off. I fell off my bike and hurt myself. And one you can use with buses or metros is hop on, hop off, which implies it's a bit quicker. So I hopped on the bus and went to town. And finally, one very useful phrasal verb is the one we need here. Instead of saying I usually move in my city by metro, think what other phrasal verb you could say, meaning move from place to place. And fantastic if you said I usually get around my city by metro. And this one is really, really useful. I would say it's the only natural way to say move from place to place. So in a city, you might get around by metro. You need a car to get around in the countryside. When I was in India, I got around by tuk-tuk. It's really the best way, the most natural way to say move from place to place. Anyway, explanation over. As ever, guys, if you found the video useful, you've learnt something and you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, and if you know other people who might find it useful, please share the videos with them. Would really help me to get the videos out to more people. When you're ready, let's practice and improve. Just pause the video and put the appropriate word or preposition into the following gaps. And well done if you said it's only 5 minutes walk to my school, so I usually go on foot. The next one, after my 10-hour bus ride or bus journey, I was happy to get off. I felt very bored on the plane during my 12-hour flight to Colombia. And then I get around my city by bike because it's very small. And finally, I'll call you when I'm on the train. So now just pause the video and write, say, or discuss the same sentences for you. And finally, today's question, what's the best way to get around your city? Do write your answers in the comments, guys. A really good opportunity to practice a really useful phrasal verb. Anyway, that's basically it for today. Hopefully you're going to avoid those common preposition mistakes and you know a couple more phrasal verbs to make you sound a lot more natural. Other than that, I'll see you in another video in the next few days. So until next time, see ya.